Okay, so today is a little tougher. We're talking about multiplying matrices, much more difficult than adding subtracting matrices, which is pretty easy. So one thing, before we learn how to multiply, we first need to figure out if we can multiply, because sometimes you try to multiply two matrices and the product is not defined and it's just, you can't even multiply them. So the first thing you have to do is look at the dimensions. So here's what I mean. The inner dimensions need to match. So for example, if you have um, So if you have, say, a 3 by 2 matrix times a 2 by 3 matrix, because they're inside dimensions, if you put in that order, the inside dimensions match. You say, yes, we can multiply. Can we do it? Yes, we can. Sound like Bob the Builder. So then the outside, what's interesting here is that the outside dimensions determine the product, the dimensions of the product. So my product is going to be 3 by 3 because my outside dimensions are 3 and 3. So for example, if you had a 1 by 4 matrix times a 4 by 5 matrix, can you multiply them? Yes, you can. What are the dimensions of my answer? There'll be a 1 by 5. Now let's try this one. What about like a 1 by 4 times a 1 by 4? You can add a 1 by 4 and a 1 by 4. They're the same exact sizes. But can you multiply those? No, you can't. So this is not possible here. So the product is not defined if the inside dimensions don't match. The inside dimensions have to match. Okay, so once you decide, okay, well, the dimensions match, like this is a 2 by 2 times a 2 by 2. So the resulting matrix will be a 2 by 2. So you will actually have a 2 by 2 matrix here. Um, Again, the reasoning is you've got a 2 by 2 times a 2 by 2. So the inside dimensions match, the outside dimensions are 2 and 2. So I'm going to have a 2 by 2 matrix up here. I'm just going to give myself a little room here for those 4 entries. Those are called entries into the matrix. So if you're doing this, let's try to get, say, like this. This is the top left-hand cell. So you always multiply row by column, just like our dimensions are row by column. We multiply row by column. Here's what I mean by that. So what row is this cell in? This is in the top row. So in the first matrix, I'm circling the top row. In the second matrix, I'm circling the column. So this is in the first or the left-hand column there. So I'm going to circle the left-hand column. So to get this, you do the first item in the row times the first item. So A times E plus the second item in the row times the second item in the column. So B times T. Okay, now we're going to deal with the top right. So I'm going to circle the top row. First matrix is always the row, and the right column. First item in the row is A times first item in the column is F plus second item in the row is B times second item in the column is H, so BH. And let's do this one. This will be the bottom left cell. So bottom row, first matrix is CD, left-hand column is EG. So C times E plus D times D, second item in the row times the second element of the matrix. And finally, we've got the bottom right. So the bottom row by column, and the right-hand column. So C times F plus D times H. Okay, so that's the pattern for multiplying. Always row by column. First matrix is the rows, second item is the column, and you just multiply the first terms in each, plus the second terms in each, plus the third terms if there are, etc. So first, let's just try this one. Can we even multiply these two? So this one looks to be, hopefully you know this is a 3 by 2 matrix times this matrix is a 2 by 3. So can we do it? Yes, we can. What are the dimensions of the answer going to be? It's going to be a 3 by 3. So this is going to be a pretty big matrix. It's going to give kind of like some 1, 2, 3. So those are my entries. I'm just kind of leaving a spot for my entries here. Okay, so let's do it. So top left hand, let's see, we always go row by column, right? So this will be top row and left hand column. So 1 times 2. So first row in the row times first row in the column. 1 times 2 is 2. And 3 times -4 is plus -12 here. So really, if you want to like start writing your final answer, the top left-hand terms 2 plus -12 or -10. That should be -10. Let's look at the next item here. So this will be middle column and top row. So top row again and middle column, that's where that cell is located. So 1 times 4 is 4, plus 3 times 1 is 3. So that term will be 7 there. And top right, this will be top row, right column. 1 times -1 is -1, plus 3 times -2 is -6. So that's a -7 that goes there. And I'm just going to do the rest without doing too much, not showing quite as much work. So this will be -2 times 2 is -4, plus 0 times -4 is 0. So -4 plus 0 is -4. -4. Hopefully I do this right. We'll see in a minute. We'll check it. And so this would be middle row, middle column. So 2 times -4 is -8, plus 0 again, so -8. And this one will be this column in that middle row. So positive 2 plus 0 or 2. And bottom row, left column, that'll be -2 minus 8, -2 plus -8. So -10. Bottom middle, -4 plus 2, -4 plus 2 is -2. And then bottom right, let's look at this one, is positive 1 plus -4, which is -3, I believe. So let's type this one in. Again, there's a couple of different ways to get to a matrix. One is to choose this kind of customizable matrix. 2 by 2. No, this is not a 2 by 2. Why did I say that? So let's see, this is going to be, this was a 3 by 2. 3 by 2. Here we go. 1, 3. I hit tab to go to the next cell. -2, 0, -1, 2. Times, and then I'm going to put another customizable matrix. And this one is a 2 by 3, hitting tab as I do that. So 2, -4, sorry, this is positive 4, isn't it? Positive 4, -1, that was -4, 1, -2. And I'll press enter, and I got 10, let's see, 10, 7, -7, -4, -8, 2, -10, -2, -3. Phew, we did it right. So I'm going to take these same two matrices. Remember, we got a 3 by 3 answer there. And I'm going to put them in a different order. So order is going to make a big difference here. So let's see, first of all, can we even multiply this? This one is a 2 by 3 times this matrix is a 3 by 2, 3 by 2. Can we do it? Yes, we can. What are the dimensions of the answer? It's going to be a 2 by 2. So not nearly as big for this one as far as the actual answer is going to be. So we're going to get a 2 by 2. Okay, so top left. So top, again, always row by column. So top row, left-hand column to get this one. So this would be 2 times 1, which is 2, plus 4 times negative 2 is negative 8, plus negative 1 times negative 1 is 1. So I have 3 plus negative 8, which I think is negative 5. And let's do the next one. This is top right, so top row, always row by column. Right column, so 3 times 2 is 6, plus 0 times anything 0, plus negative 2 is negative 4. And let's do the bottom left. So bottom row, left-hand column, negative 4 plus negative 2 plus positive 2 is negative 4, I believe. And bottom right, so bottom row, this one negative 12 plus 0 plus negative 4. Bad writing there, but negative 16. So I think if I type those in, I'm going to try to copy and paste. Let's see if I can. I just hate typing. So let me put my cursor back here and delete, see if I copy and pasted those accurately. Okay, so yes, I think I did. So I get negative 5, 4, negative 4, negative 16. Uh-oh, so maybe I did something wrong here. It should be positive 4 here. Huh. Easy to make a mistake, right? 6 plus negative 2 is positive 4. So whew, this is easy to make a mistake in this kind of stuff. So a lot different than yesterday, just adding, subtracting. It's pretty simple. Easy to make a mistake here. I probably won't let you check using your calculator. I may have some calculator only questions. I wanted to teach you your calculator mainly so that you could use it on the ACT if you wanted to. So that's really helpful actually to use your calculator, ACT and something like that. This one, let's just try. It's kind of an interesting one. So 1 by 3 times the times there times a 3 by 1. Can you do it? Yes, you can. The dimensions are going to be weird, 1 by 1. So we're going to have one cell here. So 2 times 1, 2 plus 5b minus 36. So that one cell will end up being negative 34 plus 5b, I guess would be the answer there. And last one, this is kind of a trick one, but I want you to be ready for something like this. If this said what's a squared, you might be tempted to go, oh, that's just like 14916 or something. But remember, matrices have special rules. And so if you want to get a squared, that's the same thing as a times a. You've got to use the multiplication rules. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You've got to use good old matrix multiplication here. So 2 by 2 times a 2 by 2. So you get a 2 by 2. So this will be top row right there. 1 plus 6 is 7. 2 plus 8 is 10. 3 plus 12 is 15. And 6 plus 16 is, I think, 22. Let's just see what happens if we type in our calculator, see what we get. So if I put in a 2 by 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, square it, 7, 15, 10, 22. Phew, we got it. Right, so you got to be careful on this kind of stuff, but it's not too bad once you get the hang of it. Definitely practice your homework and you should be fine. So that's your lesson on multiplying matrices.